All right, Internet, we are on a mission to the month today. Welcome back to No Reverts, the KSP2 game playthrough, where we are not reverting back to VAB, to launch. We're not utilizing any quick saves. Everything you see is Kerbal canon. So, today, we are looking to explore a mysterious signal on the surface of the Mun. And we're doing this Apollo style. We have two ships here connected by a docking port. The one's a mothership that's going to get us back from the Mun. And the other's a lander that we're going to leave back there after collecting our Kerbal. We're going to leave it in orbit. But, yeah, this is a little different than the last Mun episode. And, you know, it might be overkill. It's adding an extra element of difficulty for sure. And it might be unnecessary for the Mun, but it's good practice. It's good practice for upcoming interplanetary missions, because those kind of require you to have a little ship. So, boom, we're on our way. Big first stage with some solid rocket boosters and some non-solid rocket boosters. So we're just going to release that stage, and we've lost an engine, so we just broke off from that, making sure all of my Kerbals are in a parachuted ship. And yeah, that was not successful, but we're safe. So we're going to add a little, what are those, Separatrons, to make sure that we do not break anything on our way up. You know, I'm a little lazy the first time. So yeah. Okay, that was safe. We're safe. We're safe. So, yeah, there's a mysterious signal that we're going to go explore on the Moon's surface, doing it Apollo style. So we have a lander that is not as tall as our last one, because that one tipped over, and I believe it is Tim C who is still on the Munnar surface. We'll get him sometime. We're not getting him today. We don't have space on our lander. We only have space for one Kerbal. So, sorry, Tim C. Right now, I'm just moving some fuel into that center engine. I think it's going to give us a little extra Delta V because we're not carrying all that extra mass. I don't actually know how accurate that is, but I think it is easier to maneuver without the 4 extra rockets. So, we're going to complete our orbit around Kerbin, stuff we've done before, and we're going to target the Mun and make our way. Another thing we're going to be accomplishing today is one of the secondary missions. We're going to be exiting Kerbin's sphere of influence, the SOI. But yeah, we're on our way to the Mun. In the meantime, on our first burn, I did want to share that I want to update the colors of our space agency. I thought the green and yellow looked nice because it was Kerbal-y, but I don't like it. I think we need a change. We need new branding, and instead of hiring out, leave a comment. What are some colors that could work good together? If you know RGB or CMYK, I don't think that's actually part of the game, but I at least can look up what colors you're talking about. So, give me a pair, primary, secondary colors that we can change, because I don't like the green and yellow anymore. So here we are. We're going to make our burn to a pretty short burn to orbit around the Mun to complete our orbit, and then we're going to make sure that we have a Kerbal in our lander before we undock. And there is the mysterious signal, that little yellow dot on the surface of the Mun. So we're going to make a little we're going to plan a little burn here, and simple, just aim at the target on the nav ball using a little click button, and bada bing, bada boom, we have a path right at this signal. We need to get a little closer because I don't want to walk that far. So yeah, our second lunar landing of this series, and I'm hoping that we can get get back after this landing. But we're exploring a nice, shiny little monument over here. This is reminiscent of an Easter egg or a monument in KSP 1, which was not as pretty and shiny as this one. So let's go, let's get some surface samples and do our observational studies. And once that's done, we are gonna just do a quick little fly over to this neat looking monument. Would you look at that? Yeah. So I wish I could say the hard part of the mission is over, but we still have to reconnect with our mothership. And typically, unless you have a specific destination in mind, and I could have set myself up for success better. I could have got my mothership on an orbit that goes over where we're landing more, per se, but I am lazy, so I didn't. I'll just deal with it after the fact. So we have to get on a similar orbit to our mothership, and we're a little high, you see, so it's definitely not going to be close. And you're going to catch a mistake that I make, because essentially what we want to do is get a very similar orbit and get a really close encounter. You can see that I've made the mothership our target, I believe by right-clicking on it. And the game's a little funky, so sometimes it's hard to click on. But I believe right-clicking on it, and then you can select set as target. And these little nodes here are 2 of the upcoming closest encounters we have. And what I'm going to do here is my orbits are just way too close. So I'm going to do a burn here that doesn't help at all. This burn just gets me on like a similar orbit angle. There's a fancy word for it. I can't remember what it is. But there's not enough difference in our orbit for either ship to really catch up to each other. And I didn't realize that. So you saw me kind of going around orbit a few times. But instead, when I make my orbit a little larger by burning prograde, I'm slowing myself down so that the mothership can kind of catch up to us. So to me, we have a close enough approach, and I've selected the target speed on the little speed dial on the left hand, that yellow side, that yellow box next to the nav ball. And so by burning retrograde, I am slowing myself down in respect to the target. And then once I get slow enough, I'm basically, that's just good. I want to be nice and slow, as close to 0 as possible, which I don't have RCS, which was a mistake. You should, especially if you're trying to dock. But so I'm going back and forth between burning retrograde and burning at our target. And you can see our target has been flipping around for the duration of this mission, apparently. But yeah, so I've come to this realization that I don't have RCS. I don't really know how to dock in this game. Maybe when I learn, I can do a little how-to, or I can showcase it in a future mission. But we're just going to dip. We're going to hop out, take our science with us. And I like that about this game, unlike KSP1. KSP1, yeah, maybe it was just a me thing, but there's just a lot of clicking around to make sure that you had all of your science. Whereas in this game, it just auto-collects when you leave the ship onto your Kerbal, I think. I think that's what happens. I get my science, and that's what matters. So we're going to do our secondary mission here quick. Exit the sphere of influence, and we still have 4,000 Delta V. We could, if we wanted to, I think we might be able to do a quick swing by another planet, but we might get stranded, so we're not going to. We are just going to get back home, but exiting the SOI here is good practice. I have to do a little adjustment so I don't crash into Kerbin. It's good practice, though, because not next episode, but in future episodes, we're going to start doing some interplanetary trips. Next episode, though, we have some Minmus exploration. So, but for now, we have succeeded what we've sought to do today. And we've gained good science to unlock key pieces to help us, again, with that interplanetary exploration. So thank you, science. Over and out. Appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you like the series. And if you have thoughts and feedback, I try to be pretty responsive in the comments. And I don't have a ton of subscribers right now, so it's not too hard to be responsive. So again, leave some color palettes that might work. And make sure to tune in for next episode when we do some Minmus exploration. And stay tuned for some Duna stuff too.